Hey guys, good to be here in the new office. We were moving throughout the last few weeks, so everything's in here now. We're still getting a bit unpacked, but this will be the new place for the next couple of years at least. And yeah, I'll just jump right into the dev update. So on session, we're basically working on the same tasks that we've been working on for the last few weeks, which I know has been my intro to the dev update for the last few weeks because we have been working on the same tasks for the last few weeks. Basically, closed groups are coming along really nicely. The big news this week is that libsessionutil, which is the library that we're using for config message management and kind of closed group management as well, is integrated on most platforms, so we can actually call functions from it on most platforms. We had a few days here and there where Jason was working with platform-specific devs to make sure that was a possibility, but it looks like we've got through all of those hurdles, or almost finished getting over those hurdles, and we're at the stage where we can actually call functions from that library. So the next kind of stage is that Jason's going to add in a lot more functions. Right now we just have the profile capabilities. We're going to add in, closed group encryption, all of that stuff, and all of the config message management capabilities as well, like contact lists, closed groups that you're a member of, one-to-one conversations. All of that is going to go in very shortly. So hopefully, or at least what Jason's telling me is that most of the groundwork has been done. So adding in those additional functions won't be too hard because we have all of the tricky stuff, which was like the conflict management. And kind of merging resolution when there's two different states or two different clients. That's all done. And the other big thing we're working on is disappearing messages. So that's coming along really nicely. Most of the devs are now either halfway through delete after read or are wrapping, as in the disappearing message type delete after read, and there's also delete after send. But most of them are finished with delete after send, and they're now on to delete after read. And that's been finished on a few platforms, so we're starting to get into the final stretches of disappearing messages as well, which is really good. So I think that just about wraps up the session stuff. On LokiNet, we released a new version, we released some new builds for Windows and Mac, but really there's only changes to Windows in those builds. Fixing up a DNS issue that a few people were running into. It wasn't everyone. But if you are having DNS issues, make sure you upgrade and let us know what's happening to see if we fix those issues or not. That's the main thing that's occurred on LokiNet in the past week. On Oxen Core, we have just been continuing to work through that Python CLI that we've been talking about for a while. Kind of a new wallet command line interface layer that we're working on. And also Jeff did a little bit of work to investigate what we could do in terms of replacing the Oxen Core peer-to-peer layer, which is something that we originally inherited from Monero, and that the code structure is not ideal, so we're looking at ways to maybe fix that up as well. But yeah, I think that just about wraps us up for this week, and I will throw it over to Josh for the next section, the marketing section. Thanks, guys.
Hey guys, it's me again for another marketing update. This time I'm coming at you standing, which feels kind of weird because I'm normally sitting down talking to you guys, but I guess I can do this now. Anyways, last week the big ticket item was an office move, as you can probably tell by the different backdrop that I have behind me now. So yeah, moved office. That's actually a whole process to move an entire office around, and it's still not 100% done. You can't see it now, luckily, but there's a whole bunch of shit just over there in the corner. But we're pretty close. People are set up and they're working in the office, and vibes are on point. I can already tell the motivation of the team increasing. Just being in this new space, we have a lot of windows, a lot of natural light. It's really nice. It's a really nice space that we're in. So, with the resources that we used, that we had available not moving, we managed to get out the CEO announcement, which by now I'm sure all of you have seen. Pretty huge thing to do. We now have Chris as our reigning captain, and it's great to have Chris here on the ground floor in Melbourne driving the company towards a cohesive vision. But there was a lot of materials that had to be created to go out around that, and so that's something that we did. And we've also started to prep for the Chrissy break that's coming up. So, around Christmas there's going to be a shutdown period, but we're creating content and socials so that even though while everyone's on holidays, there'll still be socials being active, there'll still be content dropping. So we're in the process of just getting that ready now ahead of time. On top of that, we managed to put out a little bit of content here and there in the last week, but it wasn't as much as usual due to just us moving. But now that we're, in this new space, things should start to go back to business as usual until Chrissy. So that's it from me. I'll see you guys next time.